लो जी, YouTube लाइव भी हो गया। I Ashwini Jindal welcome you all on this last and 3 days on the GST course on assessment, audit, inspection, as well as arrest provisions. Out of these, in 2 days, we have covered assessment provisions as well as provisions related to inspection, arrest, etc. Now the only left out topic is audit, GST audit. How to handle GST audit? What are the provisions related to GST audit? For that, today we have the faculty with us, CA पीयूष बंसल जी, जो कल हमारे फैकल्टी थे संदीप गोयल जी, वो भी इनके ही मित्र हैं, और मोगे के लोग जो ज्यादा होशियार होते हैं जो सभी मोगा के हैं, तो पीयूष जी भी हमारे मोगा से हैं, तो ये आज ऑडिट के बारे में हमें बताएंगे। तो आई आल्सो वेलकम जो हमारे पैनलिस्ट में शफी मगलानी जी, वो तीनों दिन के हमारे कोऑर्डिनेटर थे, और देन पीयूष प्रणीत गोयल जी जो डे फर्स्ट के कोऑर्डिनेटर हमारे मॉडरेटर थे, देन आयुष अग्रवाल जी वो आज के हमारे हैं मॉडरेटर, देन जोगेश जी आप दो जगह से लॉगिन हो, कहाँ पहले एक जगह से नहीं हो रहे थे, विजय कुमार सुब्रमण्यम जी, एंड देन हमारे जितने भी अटेंडीज, अब तक हमारा 100 का शतक बस होने वाला है, 99 हो गए हैं, तो वो होने वाला है। और आई होप फर्स्ट डे the attendance was about 326 at Zoom, and second day it was also about 275, about 275, and today also we hope that within a few minutes the attendance will reach to more than 200, and it
writing audio is not clear, so आप एक बार clear
audio नहीं clear है पीयूष जी?
somebody writing that, but हमें clear है।
No, it is.
हाँ जी, ऑडियो का कोई इशू है जी किसी को?
नहीं सर, क्लियर है सर।
यार हमारी आवाज वैसे क्लियर है, बगैर जूम के भी पहुंच जाती है, ये कहते हैं वो भी आ नहीं रही ऑडियो, किसको नहीं आ रही?
All clear sir, all clear. Everyone is saying all clear.
चलो फिर हिंदी में बोल देते हैं ना बहुत ज्यादा क्लियर आएगा। तो मैं आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं। ऑल्दो ये जो कोर्स है हमने 3 दिन का डिजाइन किया था, सीकिंग रादर visualizing as well realizing the actual difficulty which we face in day-to-day practice, that even in my cases, 2-3 cases, I face security notices as well as GST audit. In GST audit, I feel कि डिपार्टमेंट को, मैं तो ओपनली कह चुका हूं कि आपकी आदत है कि जी इतने बड़े बड़े नोटिस निकाल दो और लोगों को इतना डरा दो कि वो जी स्टेट छोड़ के भाग जाए। वैसे ही पंजाब का बुरा हाल है, तो उन्होंने इतने बड़े बड़े नोटिस निकाल दिए। इसके रिगार्डिंग ऑडिट विंग ने ऐसी प्रोविजंस पे नोटिस निकाला। आई मेट डीटीसी, तो डीटीसी कहती है कि सर ये आपकी 2-3 प्रोविजन तो ठीक है जी, मैं ड्रॉप कर देती हूँ। मैं कहा मैडम ऐसा काम ना करो कि 50 रुपये लेने हैं तो पहले ही आप 150 का नोटिस दे दो कि 50 पे तो 100 पे तो मान जाएंगे। तो मैं कहा हम नहीं मानेंगे किसी के ऊपर भी, तो जो बैलेंस रह गया ना, जो आपको लगता है कि ये नहीं आपके हाथ में है, तो वी विल गो टू एडिशनल कमिश्नर पंजाब ऑडिट। So that's why I am going to meet additional commissioner audit Punjab, जो हमारे who is the IAS officer by profession, he is also chartered accountant, to enlighten and to describe him that the department, audit department is doing these things wrongly. आज की डेट में जब मैंने देखा कि the people are facing these problems, that's why we plan this course कि what are the legal remedies available with us to face all these बुलशिट नोटिसेस जो इतने बड़े बड़े आ रहे हैं कि जिसमें डिमांड आपकी कोई नहीं बनती, लेकिन ये आपके हाथ में 3-3 गुना 4-4 गुना या 10-10 करोड़ की डिमांड पकड़ा देते हैं। तो इस वजह से दैट्स वाई हमने अपनी जो फैकल्टीज हैं, लीडिंग पर्सनैलिटीज इन द प्रोफेशन, फर्स्ट डे सिद्धांत पाठक जी who tell us what is assessment and in what provisions they can do it, and now Piyush ji will tell us what are the provisions and procedures available with them regarding audit. And yesterday Sandeep Goyal ji told us and what are the legal provisions, तो हम हाई कोर्ट में कैसे जाएं। तो हम अपना केस कैसे तैयार करें कि हम अपना हाई कोर्ट में भी अगर लेके जाना है, हाई पिच असेसमेंट जैसे होती है, हाई पिच ऑडिट हो रहा है, हाई पिच असेसमेंट हो रही है, तो आई थिंक वी शुड डायरेक्टली चैलेंज इन द हाई कोर्ट आफ्टर गैदरिंग द relevant documents, after meeting with the higher ups, either maybe deputy excise and taxation commissioner in the state or in the center, whatever the relevant authority, and then finally to the additional as well as commissioner. And after that, instead of appeal, we should also knock the door of honorable high court that if they are doing any high pitch assessments, to see by seeking that we realize and announce this 3 days course, and this is today is the last day, and Piyush ji will tell us how to handle the audit. तो ज्यादा टाइम ना मैं लेते हुए मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा जो हमारे आज के मॉडरेटर हैं आयुष अग्रवाल जी, कि वो पीयूष जी को इंट्रोड्यूस करें एंड देन स्टार्ट करें। पीयूष जी हमारा आज का सेशन जो हमने ऑडिट के ऊपर रखा है, बाकी मैं अपनी दिल की बातें बाद में शेयर करूंगा लास्ट में।
Thank you, Ashwini sir. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am C. Ayush Agrawal, and it gives me immense pleasure to welcome our esteemed speaker of today, CA Piyush Bansal, on the three-day GST course webinar organized by Voice of CA. Over the past 2 days, we have witnessed an overwhelming response from our participants, with more than 300 attendees present on both the days. Today, we are thrilled to approximately now having about 150 candidates joining us, and the number is steadily increasing. Piyush Bansal, CA Piyush Bansal is a BCom graduate, is a fellow chartered accountant, is a peer reviewer, he has a diploma in information system audits. He has done certification course in concurrent audit of banks, in indirect taxes, in forensic audit and fraud prevention. He is also a approved faculty by ICAI on goods and service tax. He is a partner in Messrs. Shubhas Piyush and Associates Chartered Accountants, having offices at Fagbara and Moga, Punjab. He is also a faculty for orientation programs and GMCS organized by ICAI for CA students. Mr. Piyush Bansal has conducted more than 165 sessions on GST on various forums for chartered accountants, traders, manufacturers, etc. Apart from actively engaged in this noble profession, Mr. Bansal is also engaged in other social activities. He is a regular blood donor and has donated blood 47 times so far. With these remarks, and without adding further ado, I would like to invite CA Piyush Bansal to share his valuable insights with us on the topic audit under GST. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ayush. Thank you, Voice of CA and Ashwini ji, for giving me opportunity to be here on this third day. Though the opener batsman and the middle order batsman were excellent, लेकिन अब you cannot expect same batting from Harbhajan Singh. So the tail ender may be at different. You may have different experience or better experience. You never know, because even sometimes Harbhajan have also hit a 6. So let's start with GST audit. Once upon a time, there was an audit by a chartered accountant. Now, no more. Just like that, once upon a time, there was a 2000 rupee note. Yesterday, we are discussing there is a issue with that 2000 rupee note. We were just discussing that. So this is the similar once upon a time situation. Now, in GST audit also, once in the coming time, not once upon a time, once in the coming time, everybody would be covered under GST audit by in 1 year or in another year. Department is going to audit us for sure. I'm just sharing my screen. Sir, please allow me to share the screen.
Sorry, एक मिनट। हाँ जी, now try please.
Yes. My screen is visible, I hope.
Yes.
GST audit section 65 and 66. We were discussing that in 1 year or in coming year, you will be audited. Every businessman is going to get audited because of the provisions of the law. They are covering class also, they are covering individuals also, individual businessmen, and at the same time, they can order a class. We will discuss that in detail. I will try to explain the sections in detail, and then we will discuss along with that the nitty-gritties and technical aspects and the case laws, relevant case laws, because we have to contest that at one point of time or another point of time. So the main section is audit. What is audit? Section 213 define audit. Section 213 of CGST Act define audit. Audit means the examination. Examination. I have highlighted the word examination of records, returns, and other documents maintained or furnished by the registered person. Records, returns, other documents maintained or furnished by the registered person. That means audit is only for registered person and not for taxable person. A person who is not registered under GST cannot be covered under audit. There can be inspection, there can be any other thing, but cannot be audit. One point. Under this act, records, returns, and other documents maintained or furnished by the registered person under this act or rule made thereunder, or any other law for the time being in force. What is record? What is return? And what are the documents? Documents and records maintained under GST Act or any other law or income tax or anything. That means a tax audit report which is not covered under GST but is covered under Income Tax Act. That is also your record. That means a company law independent auditor report, or at the same time your MCA returns, they are also your records and documents maintained. So record maintained under GST or any other law, they can examine those records. For what? Audit means examination. For what? To verify the correctness of turnover, taxes paid, refund claim, and ITC availed. They are to check the correctness and to assess his compliance with the provisions of this act. And at the same time, compliance part. So if a return is late, department is automatically charging you in late fees in the next return, but you are not paying any interest for that. Supposingly our 3B get late for 2 days. During the next return, before filing, it charges us late fees. Say 20 rupees per return or 50 rupees per return, whatever it is. But what about the interest of 2 days? So all these aspects are covered under audit. Once again, I'm repeating: turnover declared, taxes paid, refund claimed, and ITC availed, and compliances. Department can audit under section 65 or section 66. Both are different audits. Earlier there was 135 section 35 audit also, which is no more, and which was very close to our hearts, to all the chartered accountants specifically. But now, alas, wo bhi kya din the. Let's go to each term in detail. We have discussed that audit is examination of records and returns and other documents. So what are the records and returns to be maintained under GST? Section 35 deals with accounts and other records. Section mandates the upkeep and maintenance of record at the place of business, places of business. We will discuss this term in detail. What is this place of business and places of business? Because your audit form also, or the initial audit mandate form is also covering this place of business term, and section 65 is also covering this. So we'll be discussing this place of business in detail. Power is vested with commissioner, what record to be maintained and what are not to be maintained, and what is to be specified. furnishing of auditing statement. These are the basic outline of section 35. We all have heard about it. So I'm just briefing about it. And then we will talk in detail about the relevant part. Failure to maintain record may entitle you to penalty. And then every owner or operator of a place of storage or every transporter. Normally we say where transporters are not registered. But every transporter, whether owner or operator or transporter is registered or not, shall maintain records and other relevant details as may be prescribed. Even if a transporter is not registered, still he have to maintain some basic records. Some related terms. Place of business. I was talking about place of business. Let's discuss this place of business. I would request if you have any query or any point, we can discuss along with it. Harish Chandra ji ne kaha hai, some works I did there. Specific queries we will take at the end. But if something related to the topic immediately, then we can discuss. Otherwise, all specific queries we will take at the end. Place of business. Section 285 of GST defines place of business to include. It is an inclusive definition. We all understand what is inclusive and exclusive definition. Inclusive definition is just an illustrative. There could be other inclusions also. Include. A place from business is ordinarily carried on and includes the warehouse or a godown or any other place where a taxable person. Now the term is not registered person. Here it is taxable person. Anybody can explain me what is the difference between taxable person and registered person? Let's come to the chat box. Taxable person and registered person. Anyone, please? Ashmi ji, chat box तो open है ना?
हाँ जी ओपन है जी चैट बॉक्स. GST applicable as per act is taxable person.
Every taxable person is one who is liable to tax for registration may be voluntary. Registered person include taxable person who levies tax on his supply, taxable person unregistered person. This Harish Chandra ji have rightly said unregistered person can be taxable person. A registered person is one who got himself registered in GST. That is a registered person who was liable to get himself registered. Registered or not registered, both can be taxable person. A taxable person is one who is liable to get himself registered, even though not liable to pay tax, but liable to get himself registered, is a taxable person, even if he is not registered. So this section is talking about place of business, any place where a taxable person, that means the person who was liable to get himself registered, stores his good, provides or receives goods, services, or both. Even if he is not registered, even then his place will be covered under the definition of place of business. Or a place where a taxable person maintains his books of accounts. Or a place where a taxable person is engaged in business through an agent by whatever name called. Again to chat box, part B. A place where a taxable person maintains his books of accounts. Whether the place of accountant or a place of chartered accountant is place of business. Let's come to chat box again. No, no. If declared, no. Look at it. Yes. Harish ji said yes. Any other opinion? Okay, let's discuss. Anshu Jain ji also said yes. A place where a taxable person maintains his books of accounts. Books of account are supposed to be maintained at principal place of business. If the books are temporarily with chartered accountant for audit, then office of chartered accountant is not place of business. If the books are permanently maintained at the office of accountant, who is maintaining all the books at his place, that means sale bill are being cut at the place of businessman, and then he is handing over all those bills to the accountant, all the purchase bill to the accountant, and the accountant is maintaining the total record at his PC or his laptop, and everything is at his premises, then the place of premises of businessman, that the premises of accountant is covered under place of business. A place where a taxable person maintains his books of accounts. He is maintaining his books of account at the premises of accountant, though he is required to maintain all the books of account at his principal place of business. And one point was if declared. If declared, then it is obviously place of business. That's why all part-time accountants nowadays keep their laptop along with them, and they maintain record at the premises of the businessman. Temporary removal or temporary keeping at some place doesn't make it a place of business, but permanently keeping at some place makes it your place of business. I hope it is clear. Principal place of business, section 289 defined to mean place of business specified as principal place of business. First we discussed place of business, now principal place of business, additional place of business. The principal place which we have mentioned as principal place in our certificate of registration. We were talking about accounts and records, place of business, accounts and records, section 35. We will discuss this section in detail because during audit, they are to check our records. All records maintained under GST Act or any other law, all to be checked. Every registered person shall keep or maintain at his principal place of business, as mentioned in certificate of registration, true and correct account of production or manufacture of goods. Most of the cases we don't have stock records, and in most of the cases we are writing in our tax audit report also stock records not maintained or stock record not produced before us. Remember, stock records are mandatory, even production records are mandatory. Any time department may come with this point that you are not maintaining stock record, that means you are liable, you are not maintained complete record as prescribed under GST Act, so you are liable for the penalty. Vijay Kumarji said, sir, as per the provision of the law, the registered person ought to have maintained only at his place of business. That I have said at the very beginning, sir. A businessman is registered person is supposed to maintain all his books of account at his place of business. But what is place of business? Then place of business is where the record is maintained. I'm having an office in Jalandhar, say Model Town area, but I am maintaining my books of accounts at say Lal Ratan area or Jyoti Chowk area or some other area, for that purpose any city. Then as per law I was supposed to maintain all my books of accounts at my place of business, but I am maintaining at some other place. So as per the definition of place of business, where I am maintaining the record is my place of business. That is the definition itself saying. I'm coming to definition again. Please look at it. A place where a taxable person maintains his books of accounts. That is his place of business. And he is supposed to maintain everything at his place of business. This is the place of business.
We have one more query, Piyushji, if you would like to take it.
Please, what is that?
It is from Vinod Sharma. In case of immovable property in several states, what should be the place of business?
Sir, in case of immovable property, when it is in several states, I would like to come to the chat box for this also. Yes, what's the opinion? Let's discuss the things. That would be more interactive and that would be more learning part. Vinayji, I will take your point, but before that, I am coming to that. Sir, किधर गई वो query? Answered. Okay. In case of immovable property in several states. Now come to this point. Vinodji have asked me at this point. I am having immovable properties in all the states, right? I am having a property in Punjab. I am having a property in Haryana. I am having a property in Delhi. What would be my place of business? It is the same, Vinodji. I have got your query rightly. There are answers. Different registration, whatever the sale bill is issued and record maintained, all these are place of business, registered place mentioned in the certificate. Point of supply, Punjab interstate, GST registration in all state does not mean ownership.
Sir, I agree.
Please.
Sir, I agree with you, sir. But as per the provisions, if he is not maintaining the books of accounts in his principal place of business, and if he is keeping his books of accounts in an accountant office or auditor office, it itself is an offense, and we normally not allow any dealer to keep the books of accounts in accountant's office, sir.
Sir, it is not compulsory that we should maintain our books of account at our principal place of business. If I am at an additional place of business, I am having two sale points.
Okay,
One
sir.
is showroom, or one is another showroom. I am having two different showrooms in same state, and I am maintaining books of account for both the showrooms separately. Then
Okay,
I will
sir.
be maintaining my books of account for principal place of business at my principal place of business, and for additional place of business at my additional place of business. So it is not compulsory to maintain my books of account at principal place of business.
Okay,
But
sir. Okay.
as per the place of business definition, wherever I maintain my books of account is my place of business.
Oh. Then you will add that place of that place as
Yes,
in
we
your
have to
registered
get that
in your
added.
registration. Okay, sir.
That we have to get that added in registration. That is the
Yes,
answer
that
to
we
the
have. Yes.
that is the answer to the query of Vinay Jainji. Now coming to Vinod Sharma ji. Vinod ji, if we are having different registration in different states, then each state is having our principal place of business. If we having now it depends on what type of business we are using this immovable property for. That will decide the place of supply, and accordingly we will decide our place of business. I hope it is clear now. Shall we move further?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
Right. Next, I'm on to next query. Next point, accounts and records. I was talking about stock records. All the stock records are compulsorily to be maintained.
Right. So
And
then, if you mention in the audit report, like all the time you mention it, the stock records are not maintained. So, in case the person is GST registered, so it's going to cause the consequences.
yes, we are not maintaining the complete record. Any fine-debt department got an idea that we have to recover a huge money. They can just simply, in my opinion, they can just simply send a simple notice to everybody, produce your stock records. And you are not producing your stock records, you are not maintaining that as required under section 35. That was mandatory to be record to be maintained. You are liable for penalty. They can collect huge penalty any day. And in most of the cases, in my earlier sessions also, I have told whenever there are chartered accountant session, just tell your client that you are ready to pay 50,000, 25,000 under CGST, 25,000 under SGST, 50,000, then need not to maintain books of this stock record, otherwise maintain it. Records to be maintained, production and manufacture of goods. And during the audit, we will be covering this part, because just we are just on the homework of audit. We are just discussing the basic points. Production or manufacture of goods, inward and outward supply of goods, stock of goods, ITC availed, output tax payable and paid, such other particulars as may be prescribed. Provided that where more than one place of business is specified in certificate, then accounts relating to each place of business shall be kept at such place of business. This is as per section 35. That's what I was saying, that you have, if you having two showrooms, then you have to keep the record at each place. Provided further that registered person may keep and maintain such accounts and other particulars in electronic form in such manner. That is just a basic thing. Then this operator transporter. Transporter have to maintain record of consignor consignee and other relevant details of goods. They have to keep a record of this thing, whether they are registered or they are not registered. So if your client is a transporter, tell him to maintain the record of, in our language, we call it a bilty or waybill. That should be there with complete detail of consignor, consignee and goods. Commissioner may notify class of persons to maintain additional records or additional documents. Where the commissioner consider that any class or taxable person is not in a position, he may tell them he may permit in writing not need to maintain the records or maintain record as specified. So these were our. Then there was section 5 once upon a time. That was again in section 35. That was the audit by chartered accountants. बहुत दुख हुआ, अच्छा आदमी था. Look at the subsection 6. Where the registered person failed to account for the goods or services both in accordance with the provisions of section 1. The proper officer shall determine the amount of tax payable on the goods or services or both that are not accounted for, as if such goods or services have been supplied, and the provisions of section 73 and 74, tax calculation in fraud and non-willful fraud and non-willful frauds. They apply section 70 and 70, 73 and 74. Now, considering we are not maintaining any stock record, then what? No stock records. Department is coming, they are verifying your stock physically. During inspection, we have discussed this aspect. Then we are liable. Okay. I'm just covering the basic quickly. Now moving further, period of retention 72 months from the date of furnishing of annual return, due date. If you remember, the due date for 17-18 financial year was 5th of February and 7th of February. In some states in Punjab, it was 5th of February. And in some other state, it was 7th of February 2020. So the 72 months, the 6-year period starts from 5th of February 2020, not 17-18. Clear with that? Due date of furnishing of annual return. And in case of appeal, they have to maintain for 1 year after disposal of appeal. Now coming to the audit. 2 sections deal with audits, section 65 and 66. I have just recalled or recapped the brief of books and the principal place of business and the place of business, because the audit by tax authorities, we need clarification about those things. We should be clear about those things. That's why I just had a brief discussion on that beforehand, before starting the audits. Audit by tax authorities, section 65. Commissioner or any officer authorized by him, by way of a general or a specific order. They may have any general order also. They may have a general order. This class or this category of business or this thing, this specific area or anything like that must be covered under audit. Or a specific order that this particular industry to be covered or this particular business house to be covered. May undertake audit of any registered person, again, only registered person, for such period, at such frequency and in such manner as may be prescribed. Period, normally a year. Normally a year, but not always. At such frequency, normally it is again annual audit, but not always, and such manner as may be prescribed. place of conduct of audit, section 65(2). The officers referred in subsection 1, the commissioner or any officer authorized by him. Authorization should be from the commissioner. So whenever there is an audit team, we will getting ADT1, we will be discussing. That should be with the prior authorization of commissioner only. The officer referred to in subsection 1 may conduct audit at the place of business of the registered person and or in their office. Now, it is the place of business. It is not principal place of business. It is place of business of the registered person or in the office of the department or in the office of the officer. He can conduct audit at both the places. Again, if the place of accountant where we are maintaining our books of account is our place of business, then that means he can conduct audit at that place also. Do tell your clients to keep permanent books at their places. Temporarily, it can come to us for audit, or it can go to accountant place. Temporary, there is no problem. Again and again, I'm repeating. Again, I'm repeating. Place of business of the registered person and or in their office, that means the office of the department. Intimation. Now, department will intimate the businessman, registered person, by way of a notice in GST ADT 01 with minimum 15 days prior notice. He has to give ADT 01, giving him a time of 15 days, provide me these documents. He will mention the list of documents and the complete details, which they are normally doing, all the balance sheet, all the returns, all the sale bill, all the purchase bill, and XYZ, ABC, D, whatever they come to their mind, they give it in that list. Intimation if to be made with 15 days advance in ADT 1. Ramesh Chandji have raised hand. Host team, please look into it. Ramesh Chandraji have raised hand. Can you please allow him to speak?
Yes, sir.
Allowed.
Talking. He allowed. Yes.
Yes, Rameshji.
Ramesh, you can unmute yourself now.
I think it was by mistake. So we can move forward.
Yes.
$50 in advance notice, period of completion, 3-month time. 3 months from the date of commencement of audit. And what is the date of commencement of audit? The date on which the records and other documents called for by the tax authorities are made available by the registered person or actual institution of audit at the place of business, whichever is later. Whenever we have provided the detail, 3 months will start from that date, which can be further extended by a period not exceeding 6 months. Order to be in writing for specific reasons, they can extend it for further 6 months. That means total 9th month period could be there with them. 3 months and extended 6 months. And then
एंथनी जोसेफ जी आपको भी अनम्यूट किया है. You may also ask.
धन्यवाद सिंगल साहब. पीयूष जी, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि एक बार डिटेल सबमिट कर दी, जो क्वेश्चनर उनका आता है, जो डिटेल्स मांगते हैं, प्रेस्क्राइब्ड फॉर्म में उनको बना के दे दिया, कंप्लीट दे दिया, उसके बाद 1-2 सबमिशन और भी हो जाते हैं. ठीक. उसके बाद में जब वो विजिट करते हैं, उस वक्त फिर और डिटेल बना के दे देते हैं 5-7. तो वो अब डेट कब से आप शुरू मानी जाए?
सर, जब उनका पहला नोटिस आया, whenever they issued their first notice and you submitted the details,
जी,
After your first notice, you submitted all the details.
Yes.
I'm coming back. I will just show you.
Yes, sir.
From that date, because commencement of day audit shall mean the date on which records called for by tax authorities are made available by registered person or actual institution of audit, whichever is later. Now, when we have provided them the details and we have given them the submission, that means audit has actually instituted. Audit has been started.
Yes.
It is not that when they are coming to our premises is the date of audit.
सर
Because-
जनवरी में लास्ट सबमिशन हो चुका है, उसके बाद
हाँ।
उन्होंने कोई डिटेल नहीं मांगी, उसके बाद सिर्फ वो अपना जो भी एनालिसिस करना चाह रहे हैं कर रहे हैं।
Hmm.
उसके बाद में भी 3 महीने से ऊपर हो चुके हैं
Right.
और अभी तक ऑडिट कंप्लीट नहीं करा उन्होंने।
Sir, you can write if they don't have specific permission in writing to extend the time
Yes.
for 6 months.
हम्म।
तो अगर आपके पास if after that you are getting any order, you can tell them that please provide us the permission for the extended period, otherwise 3-month period is already lapsed.
ठीक है जी, क्योंकि फर्स्ट जो नोटिस आया था वो समवेयर नवंबर में आया था और जनवरी में
आपके पास फर्स्ट नोटिस आया नवंबर में, आपने रिप्लाई दे दिया उनको दिसंबर में फॉर एग्जांपल।
हाँ जी जी।
जब आपने पहला रिप्लाई दे दिया उनको, उसके बाद उन्होंने दोबारा डिटेल मांग ली आपसे, राइट?
जी बिल्कुल ठीक।
दैट मींस ऑडिट शुरू हो गया
जी।
जब ऑडिट शुरू हो चुका है, पहली डिटेल की डेट से यू हैव सबमिटेड द डॉक्यूमेंट्स, दैट इज द डेट ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ ऑडिट।
तो
The
उसके
3-month
हिसाब से
period
भी
will be
5-6
from
महीने
that
हो
date.
गए।
That date. So if they don't have any extended permission of extension, then you can definitely say that the period of 3 months is already lapsed. But definitely they will show you the extended period of 6 months.
नहीं, वो मैंने चेक तो कर लिया है, बट वो एक्सटेंशन उन्होंने ली नहीं ऑडिट टीम ने अभी तक।
अच्छा,
if I may,
तो
इसमें पीयूष जी कैसे ये श्योर करें कि वो इनका इंटरनल मैटर है, इसको कैसे ऑथेंटिक करें कि परमिशन ली नहीं, तो कोई वो गोलमोल लेटर लिखना पड़ेगा टू सीक दैट?
क्योंकि कोई ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंट तो मिलता नहीं है और मैं बार बार रिमाइंडर भी दे रहा हूँ, अगर कोई डिटेल आपको चाहिए तो आप मुझे बताइए। अभी तक 3 बार रिमाइंडर दे चुका, कोई डिटेल नहीं मांगी है, रीजनेबल टाइम हमने दे दिया उनको।
सर यू नीड नॉट टू गिव देम एनी रिमाइंडर, वो तो आ बैल मुझे मार वाली बात है। व्हाई शुड आई गिव देम रिमाइंडर? आई विल जस्ट सेंड देम अ सिंपल लेटर that audit was supposed to, as per the definition, if you want to go for litigation, if you don't want to go for litigation, then this is not applicable. But for legal angle, for true patron or for true legal opinion, that we have to mention that the audit was commenced on this date, and the period as prescribed under section 65 subsection 4 is 3 months.
Yes.
पीयूष जी, अगर इसमें दे आर आस्किंग फॉर द डॉक्यूमेंट्स, हमने उनको उन्होंने लेटर इशू किया, हमने सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स दे दिए, नाउ देयर इज नो कम्युनिकेशन फॉर नेक्स्ट 3-4 months, and suppose after 4 months they decide to visit our premises. Now what is the actual date of commencement of audit in this case?
Sir, audit, that's what I am talking to Anthony ji, the same point they are having it. The actual date of audit is when we have supplied them the documents.
So then what is the meaning of this whichever is later word over written over here?
Sir, just read it. I have highlighted that.
Yes.
Commencement of audit shall mean the date on which records and other documents called by the tax authorities are made available by the registered person or the actual institution of audit at place of business. Supposingly you just delaying it. You are not providing them the documents. You are not providing them. You just want to linger it on. They are coming to your premises. And they are taking the record with them. That is the actual date of institution of audit at place of business. Or there are 3-4 circumstances. Let's discuss it. 1, they have issued me a notice. I have provided them all the documents. Then the date I have provided them all the documents, whether they have visited my premises or not, is the date of commencement of audit. Second, they have issued me a notice. I have not provided any document. They have come to my premises and they have taken record from my premises. Then the date they have taken the record from my premises is date of commencement of audit. Third, I have not given them any record. They have come to my premises. No record is found. Even then, the audit is not yet commenced. Actual institution of audit means the day when they have started the audit, whichever is later.
That is the meaning of later. They have started the audit. You have not provided any document. How can they start the audit? They have taken forcefully the documents. Then that means they have started the audit. That is the actual institution of date of audit. But it doesn't mean that the audit will be started only the date they will visit my premises. That means they are taking all the documents for 7 months or 10 months from me. And then they will, one fine day, they will decide that I will come to your premises. So today will be the date of the institution of audit. That is not true. I have already provided them all the documents. They have started the audit. They have started the working on those documents. That's why they have called for further documents. If they have not started the audit, then why they are asking for the further detail? How it is coming to their knowledge that we want further detail? Because they have actually started the audit. In this case, we have to write a simple letter to them that we have provided you all the details. 3-month period as contemplated under section 64, 65, subsection 4 is already over. So the period is over. So we assume that there it is concluded. And if you want to be on a softer side, still, if you have any permission for extension, please provide us that copy. We have the right. Clear with this? Shall we move further?
Yes, sir.
हाँ जी सर, हाँ जी, हाँ जी. हाँ जी पीयूष जी.
हाँ जी. Obligations of auditing. 3 months have to be, the commissioner need to record reason in writing for grant of such extension. And then obligation of auditing. What is our issues? The authorized officer may require the registered person to afford him necessary facility to verify the books of account and other documents as he may require, to furnish such information as he may require, and render assistance for timely completion of it. That is our obligation. We have to provide him all the details. Otherwise, if we are not providing any documents, he may simply write that you are not providing any documents. So in the absence, we cannot decide. Everything wrong. 73, 74 applicable. And after completion of audit, they will, within 30 days of completion of audit, inform the registered person about the findings, rights, obligations, and reasons of the findings. Astha Agarwal ji, you want to say something? The findings will be in the form GST ADD2 within 30 days of conclusion of audit. Astha ji, you have any point?
Astha ji, you can
Recorder,
unmute now.
Okay,
Astha
I'm
ji.
just moving further.
Sure.
ADT2 will be issued within 30 days, which will have all the details. Please note that this ADT2 is not an order of demand or of conclusion or of fixation of demand. This is just an intimation to you about the findings. Now, if audit results in detection of tax not paid or such short paid or erroneously refund demanded or input tax credit wrongly availed or utilized, the proper officer may initiate action under 73, 74. But before that, after issuing ADD2, you can now what we can do. But before that, let's recap whatever we have discussed. Now we will be opening the chat box. I'll be asking.
There are a few
Astha ji
questions.
कह रहे हैं, I have asked the question in Q&A box.
There are
Astha ji,
a few questions. Piyush, if you would like, I can read it to you. I can read it them to you.
Yeah, please, sir.
So first one is Mr. Anil Mehta has asked, is there any other penalty for not maintaining stock records in addition to rupees 50,000?
Sir, there is no other specific penalty, but there is one point that they can decide that you are not maintaining proper books of account and your turnover is not accurate, and then they can have at their own discretion whatever they want to decide.
Okay. Again, Anthony Joseph has asked if, sir, if I'm not wrong, the transporter is also required to maintain records of e-way bills. I think that you are fairly answered in.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, Anthony Joseph has asked, can audit under section 65 and the investigation under section 67 be conducted simultaneously?
No, I will discuss that in detail.
Okay. Another one, Mr. Anil Mehta has again asked that my client received notice yesterday for GST audit for a period of 5 years. That is from 2017-18 to 21-22. Is it okay?
Yes.
It is. Yes, it is. Okay. Which?
Because for 17-18, I have just told you that 5th February 20 was the date in Punjab, and in some state it was 7th of February. So considering that the last date to issue audit notices 2025.
Right. Mr. Suresh Chauhan has asked, what if the part information is provided under section 65 subsection 4? So this is regarding commencement of audit, I suppose.
Yes. If a part information is provided and that vital information is not yet provided, then the audit is not yet commenced because you have not provided the complete information.
Okay. Again, by Mr. Suresh Chauhan, what will be the effective date of commencement?
That we have already discussed in detail, sir.
Again, by Mr. Rachidan, will the submission of part documents, again, we have discussed it. Now, whether auditor needs to communicate to the department regarding initiation of audit.
Auditor is from the department only.
Yes. Sureshji, you can reframe your query. I think it is not clear. If you would like to ask further on it.
I think what he is saying that auditor need to communicate to the commissioner or some higher officer that I have started the audit.
Maybe yes, to his senior from he has taken
nothing like that, sir.
Okay. Astha Agarwal ji has asked, they can again order audit under section 65. So what is the use of going into litigation? Through our letter, can we pressure them to issue audit completion order?
Astha ji, definitely, if they have conducted audit of a particular period and they have crossed the time limit and they don't have the extension of the time, in that case, they cannot again issue audit notice for the same period they have already audited. Once they have completed the audit, it is complete.
Right. Bhavna Duha has asked, if at the time of audit we filed DRC 03 of any mistake, even then can penalty be initiated? That is again now.
Penalty normally during the audit, if we are paying any tax with interest, normally the penalty is not levied if it is covered under chapter 73. But if it is under 74, willful fraud or misstatement or anything, then 15% minimum penalty will be levied.
Right. By Mr. Sahil Thakral, whether this section is applicable independently or on the basis of ASMT 10 or both?
Independent, sir. This section is totally independent. ASMT 10 is just an inquiry.
Okay. By Mr. Anil Mehta, is it mandatory to give written notice for documents required in addition to ADT 01 by the department?
Sir, whether department is giving you a written notice or not, ADT 1 is for sure for in writing. You should give all the documents in writing. All the submissions should be in writing only.
Okay, PhD, we have these queries only.
Okay, now a few FAQs.
Queries last में कर लेना चाहे पीयूष जी.
सर रिलेटेड है, साथ साथ में हो जाती है.
चलो
अगर
ठीक.
बाद में करते हैं तो वो लिंक नहीं बनता, सबको फिर क्लियर नहीं होते पॉइंट.
हाँ नहीं
हमें भी
ठीक है.
क्वेश्चन पढ़ते टाइम क्लियर नहीं होता कि वो है क्या था.
Okay.
Sir, my question now open to chat box. Whether audit is mandatory in case of every registered person? No. No, it is not mandatory where the appropriate authority authorize the same by issue of general or specific order. Very good. Second, whether any prior intimation is required before conducting the audit? Yes. Right. This we have already discussed in detail. prior intimation with minimum 15 days period. What is the period with which audit is to be completed? We are discussing it in detail. 3 months, and which can be further extended by 6 more months. What is meant by commencement of audit? This we have discussed in detail. I don't want to discuss this anymore. No, sir, not 3 plus 3. Sameer ji, it is 3 plus 6. What are the obligations of taxable person when he received the notice of audit? What are the obligation of taxable person when he received the notice of audit? Make the record available. Simple. Should afford necessary facility, information, assistance, document for smooth conduct of audit and its timely completion. You should keep the auditor satisfied. Now you can understand what is required. What would be the action by the proper officer upon conclusion of the audit? ADT 02, Ankita ji, bilkul theek. Within 30 days, he will send us the findings and we can reply these findings. We can challenge these findings. It is not a decision or conclusion. Notice for audit was served to ABC Limited on 20th February 2020. Required information was given on 25th May. The audit officer visited the place of business on 26th June. What is the last date within which audits to be completed? Exactly what we were discussing. Now answer this. Vishal ji is saying 25th, 24th, 25th. That means you all are accepting one thing, that the audit commenced on the date we submitted the documents and not the date on which he visited. Right? So our point is totally clear with the commencement of audit, and we are clear with this section 65, the general audit by auditors. Remember one thing, when we have received audit findings, if we pay, if the order is under section, if the findings are in ADT 02 and they are under 73, then we can pay tax at the same moment with interest without any penalty within 30 days of audit findings. And if it is under 74, then minimum 15% penalty would be there. After 30 days, normal provisions would be applicable. And we can contest that audit also, that it is not right. These findings are not okay. We can even pay tax under protest also. Section 66, special audit. If at any stage of scrutiny, inquiry, investigation, now we were talking about ASMT 10, inquiry or any other proceeding before him, any officer not below the rank of assistant commissioner, having regard to the nature and complexity of the case and interest of revenue, is of an opinion that value has not been correctly declared, output tax, or the credit availed is not within the normal limit, ITC, he may, with the prior approval of the commissioner, everywhere the permission of commissioner is required. For normal audit under 65, permission audit commissioner is authorized, and under 66 also commissioner will approve to get his records examined and audited by a chartered accountant or a cost accountant, as may be nominated by the commissioner. This is the special audit, just like special audit under income tax also. This is that special audit under GST also. Such directions to be issued in form GST ADT 3. ADT 1, audit under 65, intimation. ADT 2, findings under 65, audit completion. And ADT 3, special audit. This we have already discussed. Here the time period is again 3 months, 90 days. It is not 3 months, it is 90 days. Month could be 31 days of month also, or 28 days month also. See here the period is 90 days to a chartered accountant. And this period can be extended by further 90 days only. Here, there they got the extension of 6 months. That means department can extend for 6 months, but we cannot extend beyond 90 days. They expect chartered accountants to be more proficient and more expert. So lesser time for us. Even if the accounts are audited under any other law, the accounts are to be audited for the time for this special audit. Again, after the special audit, the registered person will have opportunity to discuss or being heard about the material gathered on the basis of special audit. Whatever the auditor has reported, he should have got the opportunity to answer those queries. The expenses will be paid by the commissioner, and such determination shall be final. The department will be paying that fees, and that is already pre-decided cases. And the findings will be provided to the assessee, to the dealer in the form ADT 04. The chartered accountant or the cost accountant will submit the report to the concerned assistant commissioner and not to the businessman or to the registered person. That report to be submitted to the assistant commissioner in ADT 4. Actually, I was having the earlier session from 3 to 5 also. And this is the second session. And then assistant commissioner will inform those findings to the dealer, to the registered person. There is, again, if tax not paid, short paid, and honestly refunded, income tax wrongly, ITC wrongly claimed, provisions of section 73 and section 24 would be applicable. Let's take FAQs, and then we will come to the Q&A. Who can serve the notice for special audit? Chat box, please. Let's clear with the provision first. JC. Commissioner. Assistant Commissioner can issue the notice with the prior permission of Commissioner. Under what circumstances notice for special audit shall be issued? This we already know that the proper officer is of the opinion value not correctly declared or credit availed is not within the normal limits. Who will conduct the special audit? CA or cost accountant? Yes. Time limit to submit the audit report. +90, right? 90 days, maximum 90 days more. Cost. Who will bear the cost? Department, right? Department. What action the tax authorities may take after the special audit? (73-74) notice. Right. Now we are clear with the basic law of 65 and 66. We have discussed all the terms. We have discussed the other related terms like audit, place of business and similar. Now, what should be the preparation and approach by taxpayer towards GST audit? Now, we all are professionals. We'll be facing department audit from businessman end, from registered person end. So what should be our preparation and approach? First, we have to check whether the officer was empowered to issue notice. Either it is under 65 or 66. Empowerment. Any other parallel audit investigation already conducted, then can ask for waiver. If there is a audit going on, this is a case of RP Buildcon case. Calcutta High Court have decided beautifully in this case. If any other parallel audit or investigation is there, then there cannot be another similar process of scrutiny or investigation for the same year for the same party. In this case of RP Buildcon, audit was going on. During the conduct of the audit, the anti-evasion wing sent the notice for scrutiny. That registered person approached Honorable High Court that how is it possible that I am facing scrutiny, I am facing audit also, and for the same period and for same dates, I am getting notice for scrutiny also. Then Honorable High Court, Calcutta High Court have decided that in this case, there cannot be double proceeding on the assessee. If audit is going on, then other investigation will not be there. When audit will be completed, then it will be concluded. Now it won't be covered under any other investigation for same year unless and until there is some fraud which is declared in audit. If everything is fine, or if audit came with some conclusion and we have paid everything, then the matter is over. Same year cannot be reopened again. Seek adjournment in writing. They have given us 15 days time to send us complete list of documents, and if we find that it is not possible to provide all the details within 15 days, then we can either provide them short information or part information, and then we can provide them detail in balance in later on, or we can seek adjournment also. Verify identity of audit team members. This is very common, and we always do this. Be ready with the information. Use 15 days notice period to get record pre-audited by a CA. You have received a notice that after 15 days your audit team is coming, and you are being asked for the, you have been asked various documents that provide these documents. You can use those 15 days to get record pre-audited by a chartered accountant. अपने level पे काम पहले खत्म करवा के रखो. And if there is some discrepancy found by this pre-audit, then we can pay voluntarily with interest. That will save the penalty amount. And that will make us more comfortable that everything is okay now. It has been audited and have been verified. The few things department normally check is your sales, your turnover is okay. If there is any infringement, you have taken claim of ITC properly. The best, most important part is ITC. They take ITC the foremost. IT is correct, IT is incorrect. For example, we have taken ITC of telephone, mobile phone. Disputed. You cannot always prove that telephone is used for business, because you will be getting ITC for only those inputs which are being used for in the course or furtherance of business or during the business. In one of my cases, the auditor pointed out that there was a camera purchased by the director of the company on the behalf of company, for the company, that the camera is your personal asset and we won't allow you the credit for this camera. That was a high-end camera. We explained him that in our business, we require to take pics, and those pics should be very specific and very clear. That's why we are having this high-end camera for our business purpose. But then for everything, we have to check cost benefit analysis. It should be within the framework of cost and benefit. The total ITC on that camera was something around 33,000. For that petty amount, we decided that don't go for litigation. Yeah, reverse this 33,000 with interest. And then if you are ready for litigation, you can pay it under protest also. And if such things comes during your pre-audit, then you can pay without any penalty, with interest. That's the best use of these 15 days. Collect all the record and information and get it pre-audited. Complete assistance to audit team will be provided. Give explanations in writing only. Text may be deposited under protest. Safari Resort case still pending. This Safari Resort case is has gained a whole lot of publicity. If you are not aware, then I will just explain the. Ruhani, you are right that we have also. I have just told that we were not interested in going for litigation for petty amount of 33,000. That's why we didn't disputed that. But otherwise, the camera is for good pics required. Then it is in the course of business agreed. We were also raising the same point with that. But because the amount involved was not that heavy, so to avoid the litigation and to complete the audit, we decided to go for their version. Safari Resort case. In this case, there is a resort, Safari Resort, which is using its resort for leasing out to different people. It is earning rental income from that resort. Now, Safari Resort claimed ITC on construction of building. The material used in construction of building, he said it is during the course of my business, it is my input and I'm getting output from this only. The High Court, Honorable High Court decided in the favor of dealer, the registered person, the assessee, that you can claim input on it. Department have filed a special writ petition, special leave petition, SLP, in this case with Honorable Supreme Court. And as per my memory, it is fixed for some June date is there. So in such case, if we are also in the same board, we can deposit the tax under protest. With the writing that tax is deposited under protest. Thank you from my part, and now we will open the question answer so that it could be more interactive and we can discuss personal issues also, personal client to client cases also.
Sir, as it is, the construction of the building GST is ineligible. So
that is under 17.5. That this is your block credit building construction. But then in Safari case, the dealer raised this issue that my input is this building and my output is coming from the rental income from this building. So there is direct link between both input and output.
In the course of business. Okay.
Yes. And that's why Honorable High Court have decided in the favor of the dealer.
Okay.
Department is there for SLP. Department has filed special leave petition that this should not be allowed.
Okay.
No, Harish Chandra Batraji, I am taking your query. I have query with respect to work site in case of civil contractors for execution of work at client's place. Whether work site is required to be shown in RC. If yes, then how else an alternate remedy? For transportation of material at work site, how to do documentation to that it is not confiscated in transit by GST official. Sir, in case of civil contractor who is executing work at client's place, that is not his permanent place of business. That work site is not to be added in my case also, there is a contractor who is this fabricator. My client is a fabricator for bridges and roads and dams. All these government contracts, he is fabricating all the this iron work or framework he is doing. We are not taking any registration for that place where he is doing. He is doing all over India business, and we have not had any place of business. The principal place of business is in Punjab only, in my city only. And then when it is going by transit, we issue e-way bill also when he is sending the goods to that location where he is for work, for use and work. So that way you can also, and it is always we are following the same process. What is the time limit of challenging ADT2? Is there any specific form for this? Normally it is 30 days. 30 days of receiving ADT2, we have to reply. And there is no specific form. You have to give answer to all the queries. In case DDGI has done search under 60, Ayush ji, please you take up the questions. I will answer.
Yes. So another query is, in case DGGA has done search under section 67 and the investigations are going on, can he be still liable under section 65?
Yes, sir. Audit under 65 by specific audit can still be there.
Okay. Vijay Janji has asked, sir, can take plea of Kolkata court decision in Delhi? You discussed when Kolkata High Court
RP Buildcon. Sir, definitely we can, when there is no, it is a law of land that if there is no contrary decision of your jurisdictional court, then the valid, then the decision of the another high court would be applicable.
Right. Anil Mehta ji has asked, in case in one of our audit case, department is calculating interest on late payment beyond 180 days of import for import payments. Is it correct?
On late payment beyond 180 days for import payment. Sir, but for import, you are paying tax at the time when you are clearing the goods. There is the 180 days provision is where if you have received a tax invoice. Let's discuss it. We haven't received any tax invoice. We have paid tax at the custom and via IGST, and we are claiming that as ITC. So the 180 days period is not applicable in that case. Section 18 subsection 3 is there, I think, for this 180 days. It is not applicable, sir. You can definitely contest this thing.
Right. Now, Vinod ji has asked, for payment not made within 180 days, clause under section 16(2) for ITC, though availed but not utilized, is interest still leviable under section 50 subsection 1 or 50 subsection 3 if not reversed within 180 days?
Sir, it is very disputed. In my opinion, yes, interest is leviable. But you may have different opinion by different experts. Because even I have discussion with 2 or 3 experts. They were of the one of them was of the view that it is not applicable. I am of the view that it is applicable. So it is disputed. My opinion is yes, interest is applicable.
Okay. Vijay Janji has asked, sir, can we claim input on paints, putty, etc. for whitewash in office premises?
Sir, again, dicey question. If we are putting it under repair and maintenance, in my opinion, we can. Because it is not part of building. If it is, if the building is newly constructed and before starting the business, we are just having the paint and putty, etc. And then we started the business. Then in that case, I doubt. Then in that case, I doubt that it won't be applicable. Then we won't be eligible. But during the course of business, the business is already going on, and then we have claimed this input on paints, then we can claim this ITC.
Okay. Then Praveen ji has asked, after issuance of ADT02, can department take any other action for the same period?
No, when they have completed the audit and if it is concluded, ADT02 is given and then 73, but they can definitely take action under 73, 74, sir. That is applicable to them. They can issue you notice for tax and penalty. but definitely cannot re-audit that year.
Usually, I do have one query.
Yes, please.
Normally, we have the principle that when this adjudication order is issued, after the SCN is issued, there is an adjudication order. That adjudication order cannot go beyond this, the principal show cause notice that was issued to me.
Yes.
Now, when our audit is going on, we receive our observations in ADT 01, we reply on it. When the show cause notice is issued, can there be any other grounds except for those where that was issued by the department in that audit observation? Can department allege any other thing and in that show cause notice?
No, sir. If it is based on that ADT 02 only,
Yeah.
then they cannot go beyond that. They are not having the authority to go beyond that. But if there was any other proceeding, then they can definitely go. But when the audit is conducted, then the show cause notice should be solely based on that. And if you are going for litigation, then you can take this plea that it is beyond the scope of audit and beyond the scope of ADT 02. So it cannot be taken.
Okay.
Vinod Sharma ji has given a question. Can the department take plea of extended period under 74, though it falls under 73? Can that be challenged, sir? 73 and 74, the major difference is fraud, willful misstatement. If your short tax payment or excess IT is due to non-fraud, then 73 is applicable. And if it is due to fraud, then 74 is applicable. Department will always say that it is under 74 whenever the period will be short, that period is crossed. They have crossed the time limit of 73, then they will definitely go for 74. But yes, we can definitely challenge that there is no willful misstatement or fraud in that case.
Right. Rajat Sharma ji has raised his hand. Rajat ji, you can unmute yourself and ask your query. Rajat ji, if you are okay.
If there is no other query, then we can conclude it. From my side, everything is over.
We do have few more. Mr. SR has raised his hand. I have allowed him. Mr. Saji, you can,
yes, I'm audible. Sir, in one of my case, audit team has objected that कि फर्नेस हमारी फर्नेस है तो हमने फाउंडेशन एक्सपेंसेस के वो आईटीसी लिया है मशीनरी फाउंडेशन का क्योंकि फर्नेस में पहले हैवी फाउंडेशन लगती है तो वो ऑब्जेक्ट कर रहे हैं फिर भी हमने सेफ साइड बजरी का एंड ब्रिक्स का सैंड का वो उसका क्रेडिट फिर भी नहीं लिया हमने
सफारी केस का डिसीजन वेट करना पड़ेगा सर आपके केस में अगर सफारी केस में डिसीजन आपकी फेवर में आ गया मतलब सुप्रीम कोर्ट का डिसीजन बिजनेसमैन की फेवर में आ गया डीलर की फेवर में तो हमें डेफिनेटली मिलेगा
सर उसमें एक इशू ये एक और आ रहा है कि जो हमारा बिल्डिंग है ना वो आजकल वो बनते हैं ना आयरन स्टील के वो फैब्रिकेटेड शीट्स या उसके अलावा क्योंकि वो कभी भी आप एक्सटेंड कर सकते हो फर्नेस में कभी हमें हाइज करना पड़ता है उसको भी बिल्डिंग में मानेंगे कि उसका क्रेडिट ले सकते हैं उसमें इशू है
सर केस टू केस वेरी करता है जी
जो फर्नेस सेम केस फर्नेस इन द केस ऑफ फर्नेस
सर इन द केस ऑफ फर्नेस देखिए मैं तो ये कहूंगा कि इफ इन द केस ऑफ सफारी आई विल डेफिनेटली गो विद सफारी
तो उसकी वो साइटेशन मिल जाएगी कौन से किसमें गई हुई है
सर आप सिंपल गूगल कीजिए सफारी रिजॉर्ट केस
सफारी रिजॉर्ट ओके ठीक है
सफारी रिजॉर्ट केस ये बड़ा हॉट केस है आजकल सुप्रीम कोर्ट में इसकी जून में हेयरिंग है
ओके थैंक यू
Vinay Gupta ji has also raised his hand. Vinay ji, you can unmute yourself now.
गुड इवनिंग सर आवाज आ रही थी आपको
आ रही है विनय जी आ रही है
सर एक्चुअली मेरे दो क्वेरीज है मेरी पहली क्वेरीज तो ये है कि जब जीएसटी डिपार्टमेंट ने हमारा ऑडिट किया ना एक्चुअली ना एक गलती हमारे से भी हो गई कि हमने कैपिटल गुड्स का आईटीसी रिवर्स नहीं किया 2019 में
ओके
लेकिन वो हमारी रिटर्न से दिखता है कि वो हमने कैपिटल गुड्स सोल्ड किया है वहाँ पे अब डिपार्टमेंट का इंटेंशन ये है कि वो ये कहते हैं कि सर आपने विलफुल नहीं किया जबकि हम ये कह रहे हैं कि हमारी रिटर्न में है आपने रिटर्न को देख के आपने देखा कि हमने रिवर्स नहीं किया तो क्या हमें 73 लगाएंगे या 74 लगाएंगे सर यहाँ पे
दोबारा सर आपने कैपिटल गुड्स का आईटीसी रिवर्स नहीं किया
सर वो
हाँ तो वो आपकी रिटर्न में कैसे आया
तो इधर हमारा काम जो है वो
अच्छा, मतलब आप
construction
कह रहे हैं कि आपने कैपिटल गुड्स का आईटीसी ले लिया,
हाँ, और उसको जब
रिवर्स
हमने
नहीं
बेचा,
किया,
क्योंकि हमने उसको बेच दिया था 5 साल के अंदर, इसलिए
5 साल के अंदर बेच दिया था,
हाँ जी।
तो वो सेल आपने रिटर्न में शो नहीं की?
नहीं, सेल रिटर्न में शो किया है सर उसको।
सर अब जब रिटर्न सेल में शो की है तो
हाँ,
उसकी सेल पे आपने टैक्स डिपॉजिट किया है?
टैक्स डिपॉजिट किया है सर उसमें।
सेल पे टैक्स डिपॉजिट किया है?
हाँ जी।
सर डिपार्टमेंट तो 74 ही कहेगा, हम 73
ओके,
ही कहेंगे, क्योंकि हमारे, मैं बिल्कुल आपके साथ एग्री करता हूँ, मैं तो 73 ही कहूंगा इसको। बट ये डिस्प्यूटेड इशू होगा, और आपकी क्वांटम कितना है, मैं हमेशा ये कहता हूँ कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस देख के लिटिगेशन में जाइएगा।
ओके।
In
तो
this,
सेपर से इसमें ना क्या किया है हमने, सेपर साइड इसमें हमने जो क्वांटम है हमारा, उसका हमने उनके कहने पे रिवर्स कर दिया है। अब वो रिवर्स करने के बाद भी वो कह रहे हैं कि अब आपको सिर्फ पेनल्टी भी देनी पड़ेगी।
सर ये ऑडिट में निकला था,
हाँ, वो सर ऑडिट में नहीं करना, वैसे उन्होंने ऑडिट में पकड़ाई है।
तो
मतलब
अगर आपने 30 दिन में दे दिया तो मैक्सिमम 15% पेनल्टी लगा सकते हैं 74 में भी।
ओके, नहीं, उन्होंने ऑर्डर हमारे को देने से पहले, मतलब जिस दिन उनका ऑर्डर है हमारे पास ADT2, उससे पहले ही हमने रिवर्स कर दिया था उसको DRC03 से।
फिर तो नॉर्मली पेनल्टी नहीं लगनी चाहिए सर, फिर भी अगर वो 74 में ही जाते हैं तो भी मैक्सिमम 15% ही लगाएंगे।
ओके, एक क्वेरी और है सर हमारी, कि हमने क्या है ना कि जुलाई 17 से लेके मार्च 18 तक की जो स्टार्टिंग के जो 6-7 महीने थे, उनकी GST3 भी हमने लेट फाइल की है, अराउंड सितंबर 18 में। अब डिपार्टमेंट क्या कह रहा है कि सर आपका इसमें पेनल्टी लगी 122 2 या 3 ऐसे करके कुछ है, वो 3 महीने का कोई उन्होंने प्रोविजन बताया था कि आपको 3 महीने के अंदर आपको 3 भी फाइल करनी होती है, अदरवाइज आपको इक्वल टू टैक्स अमाउंट पे करना होता है पेनल्टी के अंदर।
सर देखो, नॉर्मली तो यही है कि अपने को रिटर्न फाइल करनी है, लेकिन ये तो इन्होंने एक्सटेंड भी किए थे पीरियड पीछे। आप एक बार, ये मेरे को स्पेसिफिक प्रोविजन याद नहीं है, आप एक बार चेक कर लीजिए कि डेट एक्सटेंशन हुई थी रिटर्न फाइलिंग की।
उसमें तो GST1 की हुई, हमने चेक किया था, तो उसमें ना डेट जो है वो GST1 की एक्सटेंड है, 3 भी एक्सटेंड नहीं है।
प्री भी एक्सटेंशन नहीं है तो फिर वो इंटरेस्ट ही डिमांड कर सकते हैं। और पेनल्टी किस चीज की कह रहे हैं? लेट फाइलिंग की तो पर डे पेनल्टी तो आपने पहले ही दे दी होगी।
हाँ, वो हमने दे दी, जो भी उनकी बनती थी उस
हाँ
टाइम
जी,
हमने दे दी है। और वो
तो
ये कह
उसके
रहे हैं
अलावा
कि 122 बटा
नहीं नहीं नहीं
सेक्शन
सर, उसमें नहीं
122।
बनेगी, उसमें नहीं बनेगी सर 122, उसमें नहीं बनती सर, ये उसमें नहीं बनती, दिमाग से निकल गया, पर वो नहीं बनती सर उसमें।
122(3) या 122(2) है मेरे हिसाब से, ज्यादा मुझे याद आ रहा है वो
देखना
3 महीने
पड़ेगा
के
सर,
अंदर।
पर उसमें बनेगी नहीं सर, इसमें सिर्फ लेट फीस लगनी थी, और एट द मैक्सिमम आपको इंटरेस्ट चार्ज किया जा सकता है।
वो हमने दोनों पे कर दिया है। तो क्या इसमें तो
कैसे दोनों
125,
कैसे?
इसमें 125 वाली पेनल्टी लगा सकते हैं क्या, वो जो 25,000 की जनरल पेनल्टी है?
सर ये थोड़ी है कि जहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है वहां पे पेनल्टी लगानी ही लगानी है, ऐसा थोड़ी है।
सर उन्होंने बकाया ऑर्डर में लिख के दिया हमारे को, ये दोनों की हम या तो ये लगाएंगे या फिर ये लगाएंगे आपके।
ऐसे मतलब इधर दिस और दैट, ये
हाँ,
ऑर्डर में लिखा है उन्होंने?
हाँ सर, पहले उन्होंने मेरे को ऑर्डर दिया था 122 वाला, अब उन्होंने 125 का दिया हमारे को दोबारा।
आपने इसको 122 वाले का रिप्लाई दिया था?
हमने जो 122 का रिप्लाई ये दिया है कि हमारी लाइबिलिटी
तो
आपकी
सिमिलर
फॉरवर्ड
रिप्लाई
में
इसका
बनती
भी
नहीं
दे
है।
दो सर, सिमिलर रिप्लाई इसका भी दे दो, आपने ऑफिसर को सेटिस्फाई कम किया होगा, बस और कुछ नहीं
जैसे सेटिस्फाई को पूरा ही किया था उसको,
है।
जो उसके डॉक्यूमेंट सारे उसको डॉक्यूमेंट्स को दिए थे हमने।
सेटिस्फेक्शन नहीं हुई सर उसकी, बस और कुछ नहीं है, इसलिए वो जबरदस्ती की इसमें नहीं लगती तो इसमें लगाऊंगा।
हाँ, वो अब ये हमने ये इसी शौक की वजह से कि 122 का हमने हटवाया उसको, तो वो कह रहे थे 125 की लगेगी लगेगी इसके अंदर आपको।
चलिए सर, ये तो मतलब सेपरेट ही हो गया मामला, लगेगी नहीं
ठीक है,
वैसे।
ठीक है, थैंक यू सर।
एनीथिंग एल्स सर?
we have one query in comment box also, in chat box also. Piyush, if you are comfortable, I can take it.
Yes please.
It is from Mr. Mayank Loya. Is it mandatory to provide required data during the course of audit in Excel sheet? We have been asked to provide complete details along with item-wise details in Excel sheet, which may lead to data leakage.
Sir, sometimes they ask this thing that they want it in Excel sheet and they insist that we should provide it in Excel sheet. But in one of my cases, I have just clearly mentioned that it is not possible for my software to convert the data in Excel.
it is available as such. I can provide you data backup, or if you want, I can provide you hard copy, or I can provide you PDF. What is available in my software? I cannot convert, or I cannot rewrite all the books in Excel. That I have clearly told them, and this we can you can also follow the same thing.
Nikhil ji has asked, registered person sends 1000 kg any item for job work and received 700 kg and remaining treated as scrap and then sale by job worker. Department add figure in revenue of registered person. Can it be right? Is it okay?
Registered person sent 1000 kg for job work and received 700 kg. Remaining item treated as scrap and then sale by job worker. The scrap sold by job worker.
इसमें
जी कुछ कह रहे हैं आयुष जी?
So इसमें we do have the provision कि tolls, jigs वगैरह जो होते हैं that can remain there, but other items you have to receive back. Otherwise अगर sale from the job work premises से हो रही है, then you have
that
to
will
add
be treated as sale of registered person.
Yes, that is to be added as an additional place in that registered person's GST registration.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, तो वो registered person की sale में ही add करेंगे.
राइट सर, कुछ केसेस में वेट बढ़ भी जाता है, जैसे एक क्लाइंट है जिसके टूल्स है तो वो उसको पाउडर कोटिंग करवाता है, तो 1000 kg है तो वापस आएगा 1200 kg, तो उस केस में कैसे वो करेंगे?
नहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं मैम, 200 kg का तो वो बिल भेजेगा ना अपने को,
जॉब
वर्कर
Okay.
अपना बिल भी तो भेजेगा ना, जो उसका पाउडर कोटिंग का.
राइट, तो वो हम भेजते हैं 1000 kg लिख के और वो 1200 kg का लिख के
हाँ,
भेजते हैं
विद वर्किंग ऑफ विद कंप्लीट जॉब वर्क, तो वो वेट बढ़ सकता है, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, जरूरी नहीं कम ही होना.
ओके.
What if ITC 04 is not furnished? That is job worker return is not furnished. सर भेज दो, कंपल्सरी है, लेट फीस लगेगी. और तो अभी तक कुछ किया नहीं, nothing else they have done so far. They are just saying कि I am just also saying that file it if it is late.
Geeta Makkaji has asked, in case of an audit has been conducted under section 65. ये same question है, but इनका थोड़ा सा वो है कि investigation can be conducted under 67 by any other office. So
other than GST, that then it can be conducted.
Center of state का बात है, I think इसमें अगर.
हाँ, normally center of state में ये कल भी वो बात हुई थी, जो संदीप जी ने भी कही थी कि मेरी दुकान से माल नहीं खरीदा, दूसरी दुकान से खरीदा, मेरे से खरीदना था. It is just similar thing, nothing else. Can register officer can ask for software backup if books maintained in Tally, all books given him in hard copy? Yes, he can.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Let's conclude it. If
पीयूष जी एक चीज पूछनी थी सर.
हाँ जी सर.
सर किसी कंपनी ने जो 18-19 की रिटर्न है किसी वजह से 21-22 में फाइल करी सर, फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम थी, और लेकिन बुक्स में सारा आईटीसी वगैरह क्लेम कर लिया. अब लेकिन हमने रिटर्न के टाइम पे ही तो आईटीसी क्लेम करेंगे, तो फंड की शॉर्टेज थी, उस वजह से लेट हो गई सर 7-1.5 साल. तो आईटीसी अलाउ होगा या नहीं होगा सर? डिपार्टमेंट डिस्प्यूट कर रहा है कि नहीं जी नहीं होगा. हम लोग कितना भी बोल रहे हैं बुक्स में क्लेम है, और फंड की शॉर्टेज की वजह से कोविड आ गया था, बिजनेस स्लो डाउन हो गया था, तो पहले बिजनेस और एम्प्लॉय को देखेंगे या रिटर्न फाइल करेंगे, तो मान नहीं रहे हैं सर. क्या है लीगल पोजीशन सर?
सर मेरे हिसाब से अगर मैं स्ट्रेट शब्दों में कहूँ तो मेरी ओपिनियन ये है कि अगर ड्यू डेट ऑफ फाइलिंग ऑफ रिटर्न निकल चुकी है तो हम आईटीसी क्लेम नहीं दे सकते. लेकिन एक वो रोल ऑन ओवर वाला सिस्टम सबने यूज किया, अगर वहां पे आप कवर कर सकते हैं तो कर.
Can we cover it in Bharti Airtel judgment also regarding books of accounts?
Yes, it is covered. We can cover there also, but still वो फिर वही बात है कॉस्ट बेनिफिट.
वो पूरा लिटिगेशन एंड तक जाएगा, but we can still cover it.
रोलिंग ओवर वाला क्या है सर?
सर पर्सनल लेवल पे बताऊंगा. पब्लिक रिकॉर्डिंग चल रही है सर ये यूट्यूब पे. जी
ठीक, समझ गया सर. तो डाउटफुल ही रहेगा बेसिकली, मतलब फाइट तो करनी पड़ेगी. ठीक है, अपील वगैरह तो कर ही देना सर, उसमें अलाउ नहीं किया. मतलब हमने सारी चीज किया हुआ है सर. 16.2 के जो चारों लाइनें वो सब कंप्लीट किया हुआ है सर, फिर भी अलाउ नहीं कर रहे हैं। बस ये है कि रिटर्न लेट से फाइल करिए कंपनी ने। वो फंड की शॉर्टेज तो सर 18-19 में तो सबको हो गई थी, वो 18-19
सर वो दिक्कत तो है ही है। चलिए, एनी अदर क्वेरी सर?
जी जी ठीक है।
MK गुप्ता जी कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं सर, हमारे बड़े भाई है।
हेलो पीयूष जी, नमस्कार, कैसे हो सर?
सर नमस्कार जी, बहुत बहुत नमस्कार, कैसे हैं आप?
बस बढ़िया सर, फर्स्ट क्लास। सर जी मेरी क्वेरी है, एक जीएसटी रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन के
सर
केस।
आप क्यों मजाक कर रहे हैं सर मेरे साथ? आपकी क्वेरी मैं सॉल्व करूंगा सर।
नहीं 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 सर, आपकी गाइडेंस चाहिए इसमें। उसके
आदेश
फायर
आदेश
इंसिडेंट ऑकर हुआ सर।
दोबारा रिपीट
फायर
कीजिए सर।
फायर फायर आग लगी वहां पे, और सब्सटेंशियल लॉस ऑकर हुआ उनके, जहाँ पे जो उनके गारमेंट्स वगैरह थे, जहाँ बिल्डिंग है, बिल्डिंग को भी काफी डैमेज हुआ, और सब्सटेंशियल रिपेयर्स उन्होंने अंडरटेक करी वहां पे। जो रिपेयर एंड रेनोवेशन वर्क वहां पे अंडरटेक हुआ है, उसको उसके ऊपर सर क्या जीएसटी आईटीसी का क्या सीन हो सकता है?
सर वही है ना जी कि अगर हम किसी के पीछे बड़ी साउंड आ रही है हमारा, देखिए सर अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम में रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंसेस और कैपिटल एक्सपेंसेस,
जी
वो एक बाइफर्केशन तो अपने को देखनी ही देखनी है।
ठीक है।
इफ इट इज अ टोटली रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंस,
हाँ जी
then in my opinion we can claim ITC on it.
ओके, चाहे वो सब्सटेंशियल है जहाँ माइनर नेचर का है, वी
So
कैन सी।
that doesn't matter if even if as per the definition, as per the basic accounting of accounting principle, if it is a revenue expense, then we can definitely claim. And I am forgetting one judgment. There was a judgment on this also, that for revenue expenses you can definitely claim. I will just find it out and reply you. I will send you that judgment, sir.
ठीक है सर, शेयर कर दीजिएगा प्लीज। थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। ओके,
ओवर टू यू सर।
पीयूष जी ओके जी, सब क्वेरीज
हो गई सर?
चलो थैंक यू वेरी मच। मैं बस कंक्लूड करूंगा। मैं उससे पहले कहूंगा कि जरा शफी मगलानी जी हमारे कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं, वो भी 1-2 मिनट के लिए क्लोजिंग रिमार्क्स दें, तो उसके बाद मैं फिर क्लोज करता हूँ।
Right, sir. Okay, thank you, Ashmi, sir. So I would like to thank the audience for joining again in good number. So we reached 325 at the first place. So I guess a lot of people are going to get certificates. Right, sir. So please issue that, Jindal sir. And also, I would like to thank today's speaker, Piyush Bansal sir, who has taken this topic so well, because he has not done it like bookish. He has done it with the practical knowledge and how to handle the situation if things come in. जो आजकल आ रही हैं, so we'll be able to handle it practically. So thank you, Piyush sir. You are such a knowledgeable personality. So kudos to you. Keep on joining us on regular intervals.
थैंक यू शफी जी। मैं बस लास्ट में यही कहना चाहूंगा कि हमने ये सेशन प्लान किया प्रैक्टिकलिटी डिफिकल्टी देखने के बाद। इन फ्यूचर वी विल आल्सो प्लान मेनी सेशंस, मे इट बी सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स और अनदर वेबिनार्स आल्सो। वेरी सून we will plan next webinar on peer review, how to handle peer review. Actually not to be peer reviewer, rather as a PU unit, when your peer review is due, how to handle that. We are planning the seminar on that also. And in June we will also plan some of the program with Guruji, tax guru Girish Uja ji also, regarding charitable institutions, as well as practical implications of another provision which has been introduced recently by the finance sector. Kindly stay with us. Regarding certificate, I have already informed in the beginning, day one, that these will be issued to those who have attended all the 3 days, number one. And number two, minimum 5 hours attendance must be there. If your attendance, रादर आज का सेशन हमारा 15 मिनट पहले खत्म हो गया, 20 मिनट, तो थोड़ी सी रिलैक्सेशन उसमें आई विल गिव की 4 आवर एंड 30 मिनट, 4.5 घंटे की अगर आपकी अटेंडेंस होगी 3 दिनों में और तीनों दिन होगी, तभी आपको सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा। एंड काइंडली वेट फॉर एटलीस्ट 1 to 2 weeks for the certificates. अगर आपको 1-2 हफ्तों में नहीं आते, then kindly contact us. Otherwise, I will share the link of the Google Drive from where you can download your certificate of this 3 days course to the eligible participants only. तो जो हमारे वैसे तो इसमें नॉन सीए कोई है नहीं. दिस इज द कोर्स, इट इज मेंट ओनली फॉर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स. मेरे ख्याल में एक है जो नॉन सीए है, उन्होंने मेरे को अप्रोच किया है. अगर इसके अलावा किसी ने अटेंड किया है फॉर लर्निंग, देयर इज नो बार, बट सर्टिफिकेट विल नॉट बी इश्यूड टू देम if they have not made the payment of rupees 1000. Certificate is meant only for the person chartered accountants or to those non-chartered accountants who have paid 1000 rupees. Only one person has paid there. So that is very much clear, because we are providing this service only to chartered accountant, and for other seminars for learning purpose they may join. Thank you very much. Thank you. I am also thankful to all the moderators as well as Shafi Miglani ji, Puneet Goyal ji, Ayush Agarwal ji, and then Aman Gupta ji. I think today in absentia, and our 3 faculties who have joined us: Siddhant Pathak ji, Piyush Bansal ji, and Sandeep Goyal ji, and all the panelists, as well as special thanks to the attendees who have listened patiently all the speakers for 3 days. Thank you very much. Stay connected with us. We will meet again and will inform the future activities by WhatsApp as well as Facebook. Thank you very much.